Hello everybody, and this is here, and today I wanted to share this kind of like a daily practice sketch of this Asteroid space station. Here I'm starting with the primitive tool, so created a sphere, applied it to a layer, and now I'm starting using the move tool, and this is pretty much how I create this asteroid in a matter of minutes really. I used the move tool with different type of alphas, and I started to displace this whole thing. And here I'm just experimenting with alphas. I don't really know which one is better, so tried one, then I'm using kind of the move tool right now. It's a smoothing tool essentially because I'm trying to space out the deformation, and by spacing it out, it essentially creates this area of calmness, which I can then turn it into a bit of an offset hole to put the space station in. And I wanted to get those kind of cheese type of deformation from the craters, little craters and such. And I used, I turned off the ignore back faces and turned on, and then I started to create all the cheese or with standard alpha, doing it in seconds really. There we go. I established with the blob tool. With the blob tool, I established the center of my space station, and then I'm using the radial symmetry around the object to create the symmetrical station. And I used the blob tool with really big radius to extrude these long kind of legs. And I'm using the voxel height again with radial symmetry to add details really fast because I have the ability with the radial symmetry to add a lot of stuff. And now I'm unhiding from certain parts. And I thought maybe that there was a kind of too big of a structure for this asteroid because asteroid is fairly small. So I decided to remove it entirely. And now switch the radial symmetry to only three counts of symmetry. So therefore, I create the bulkier parts of the station, but I don't have too many of them, so it doesn't get too noisy or too massive for the little space station inside this asteroid. Oh, I keep saying it little just because I was thinking about it more like a little kind of toy. It could have been a pretty large one as well. Overall, the whole sketch took me about 18, 20 minutes. Just a really good exercise about creating some clean shapes. And again, this is where some tools like radial symmetry really shine in 3D code. And I can't even imagine myself doing something like that because in Blender. In Blender, it's possible to do it, but it won't be so easy and so fast. Although in Blender, you have the advantage of having like really thin surfaces. While in 3D code, it's hard to achieve thin surfaces without some extreme poly count, essentially. And you can see here, I'm actually like running a pretty low poly count. I think I just like a couple of million triangles at the moment, maximum, maybe less. So created this kind of bridge, and I added antennas, so really easy detailing that adds a lot uh, to that object. Just little antennas here and there. They're quite helpful to establish the scale. And I've turned off the symmetry completely, and I wanted to add these scattered elements around the asteroid using the blob tool and on plane, right? So I'm checking how high I put the space pods around the station with on plane, right clicking there and establishing my on plane. And this is really more about adding this symmetry to the whole project. And I decided to cut a few things here and there and to trim the asteroid and see if it looked better, having some openings like here. It's just arguable, might be better because having like an opening like that makes it a little bit more unique. And I'm testing an idea. Should I add, like, create an opening and then create a bit of like a structure there, and which started to look pretty good. I'm testing it in render, right? So render, even though 3D render is not that great, honestly, it's a bit of a pain to deal with. Still get some kind of results that help you to understand what's going on. So I'm trimming some bits. I'm trying to make the antennas much thinner using the voxel height. Again, like super thin. I'm kind of getting them dangerously thin because then if you change the voxel density, those super thin elements will just disappear, unfortunately. You have to turn it into surface mode and then turn it into voxels if you want to keep these thin shapes, and then you have to run the surface mode at a high voxel count, like 5 million triangles. So I'm playing here with the different materials, and that's really pretty much it for this whole sketch. Just here, trying everything, trying what can look better, changing the intensity, and that's about it. So thank you for watching, and let's catch up in the next video.